than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, ESPN's Peter Schrager released his mock draft on Tuesday morning. He does 2 of these, one the week of the draft, one this week. So no surprise, Fernando Mendoza projected to go number 1 overall to the Raiders. He also has the Titans selecting running back Jeremiah Love at number 4 overall, and the Cowboys taking safety Caleb Downs at number 12. So Christian Parker gets a star defensive player, first year defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Kevin, as we look at like the intriguing questions around the draft, obviously there's a lot of buzz this time of year. What is the most intriguing one you're following?
From a team building standpoint, it's Dallas Cowboys. Here's why. They've got 2 picks, 12 and 20. And when I look at teams that can be one player away, one difference maker away from actual contention, from division championships, the Cowboys are at the top of my list. If they hit on a Ruben Bain at 12, who's been mocked there in a couple of ESPN, Field Yates, Matt Miller, Mel Kiper type of mock drafts over the last month, if they hit on a Caleb Downs, if one of those guys falls to them either because of positional value with Downs or because of the arm length with Bain, I run to the podium to take either of those guys because they need front 7 and they need secondary. Either of those guys changes the culture immediately. The draft picks for Jerry Jones are never a problem. It's what happens after the draft picks. Now, I know in 2009 they drafted a DB named Stephen Hodge before Jason McCourty. Massive mistake. But typically, they're able to nail these draft picks, okay? And I think they're going to understand Ruben Bain and Caleb Downs, 2 guys who dominated in big games, who played a lot of high-level football. Those are plug-and-play year-1 guys. The Cowboys are not far off, guys. We know how high the floor is on that offense. They only need to get to average on defense to win that division. Give me Bain, give me Downs, give me real-deal Cowboys contention in 2026.
The Cowboys, amongst all other 31 other teams, made a mistake not drafting me higher up. But that's another story for another day.
How could you?
Can I play devil's advocate? And you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They've made some moves, Rashawn Gary, Jalen Thompson in the secondary on the defensive side of the ball. You're of the belief that 2 rookies can come in and completely change everything for that defense, where they were bottom of the barrel last year, couldn't figure out enough with an offense with Dak Prescott that was unbelievable at the top of the league. So now you're going to say just 2 rookies. They come in from day one, and those are the guys setting the culture, making a huge difference.
What's up, everybody? We are back. And today we are watching First Take, Kevin Clark, Jason, and the crew. They're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And Kevin Clark just said something that should terrify the rest of the NFC East. He said the Cowboys are 1 play away, 1 difference maker away from actual Super Bowl contention. And he's not talking about a veteran trade. He's talking about the draft. Picks 12 and 20. And 2 names, Caleb Downs and Ruben Bain. Let me break this down. The Cowboys' offense is already elite. Dak Prescott was unbelievable last year. CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 receiver. The offensive line is still good. They can score with anyone. The problem has always been the defense. Last year, they were bottom of the barrel. Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. Couldn't generate pressure without blitzing. But Kevin Clark says they don't need to be a top 5 defense. They just need to be average. Mediocre. 15th, 14th, 13th in the league. That's it. Because the offense is going to score so many points. And he's right. If the Cowboys had even an average defense last year, they win the division easily. They probably win a playoff game. Maybe 2. So who are these guys that can fix everything? First, Caleb Downs. Safety from Ohio State. Kevin Clark said he had Ryan Day on his show last week, and Day said Caleb Downs may have been the best high school player he's ever seen in his entire life. Day said Downs could play running back. In college or the pros. That's how athletic he is. That's how good he is in space. And he's a safety. A safety who can cover, tackle, blitz, and apparently play running back if you need him to. That's a chess piece. That's a culture changer. Second, Ruben Bain. Defensive end from Miami. Kevin Clark talked about his motor, his run defense, his ability to get to the quarterback. But here's what really stood out. Clark said, "We don't talk about clutch pass rushes enough. He knows how to set up a move in the second quarter to get to the quarterback in winning time in the fourth quarter." That's not just athleticism. That's football IQ. That's understanding the game within the game. And that translates to the NFL immediately. The Cowboys have a new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. First-year guy. He needs to set a new tone. And what better way than bringing in rookies who play with an attitude, who set the edge, who communicate, who dominate in big games. Kevin Clark said both Downs and Bain have played a lot of high-level football. They're plug-and-play year-one guys. You don't have to wait 2 or 3 years for them to develop. They're ready now. And here's where it gets even better. The Cowboys have 2 first-round picks, 12 and 20. If they take Downs or Bain at 12, they can take a cornerback at 20. Or another pass rusher. The mock draft that Peter Schrager released has the Cowboys taking Akeem Mesidor at 20, another Miami defensive lineman. Mesidor is 25 years old. He's a day-one ready-to-play guy. He can kick inside, set the edge, even play some pass coverage. Kevin Clark said Mesidor can do so many things. It would be a home run pick. So imagine this. The Cowboys draft Caleb Downs at 12. A do-it-all safety who changes the culture immediately. Then they draft Ruben Bain or Akeem Mesidor at 20. A pass rusher who can get after the quarterback and stop the run. Then they already have Rashawn Gary and Jalen Thompson on the defense. That's not a bottom-of-the-barrel unit anymore. That's a unit that can get stops when it matters. Jason on the show pushed back a little. He said, "You're telling me 2 rookies can come in and completely change everything?" And Kevin Clark's answer was simple. Yes, because the bar is that low. The Cowboys' defense was historically bad last year. They don't need to be the 85 Bears. They just need to be average. And 2 impact rookies can absolutely get them to average. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is the Dallas Cowboys. This is Jerry Jones. There's no such thing as a foregone conclusion. The crew joked that Jerry might draft a wide receiver at 12 just because he can't help himself. And that's the fear. The Cowboys have nailed draft picks historically. Kevin Clark mentioned that in 2009 they drafted Stephen Hodge before Jason Cordy. Massive mistake. But typically, they are able to hit on these picks. The question is whether Jerry will stay disciplined and take defense. Because if he does, if he takes Caleb Downs or Ruben Bain, then Kevin Clark is right. The Cowboys are real deal contenders in 2026. They win the division. They win a playoff game. Maybe 2. And suddenly, the conversation changes from same old Cowboys to can anyone stop this offense with a competent defense? Here's my question for you. If you're the Cowboys, who do you take at 12, Caleb Downs or Ruben Bain? And does either guy actually make them a Super Bowl contender? Drop a comment. Let me know. And if you want more of these breakdowns, hit that like button and subscribe. We are building something real here. I'll see you in the next one.